Hey guys, I'm Patrick, and I know what you're thinking. This barren area could really use a cold hardy mimosa tree. And you're right. So welcome back to my Plant Something Sunday series. This Sunday, I am going to plant this cold hardy mimosa tree. Now it grows down to zone 5, which that's my growing zone. So I'm like right on the cusp of pushing my luck, whether this tree is going to do well and be reliable and thrive here, or if it's going to not survive this first winter that it's planted. I have looked up something that I haven't tried before with plants, with perennial shrubs, anything really that's on the cusp of my growing zone, where you'll plant it and then surround plant it. I don't know if that's actually a gardening term, but I'm going to underplant the tree, which sounds ridiculous because the tree is so small, you don't really think about underplanting it, but I'm going to surround its root ball with other plant root balls to hopefully secure and establish an environment that's going to survive the upcoming winter. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to pair with this right now, and I'm not quite sure what I even really have that's not allocated to something else, but I'm gonna go poke around and see what I come up with. Some quick facts about the cold hardy mimosa tree that I looked up that makes me think that it's going to do well here is that it only maxes out around 35 feet with a 25-foot spread. It does well in partial sun to full sun, which this is again, on a cusp of both of those. It probably solidly gets 7 to 8 hours of sun in this location. A mature tree looks like this, and as you can see, it has these beautiful pink blooms that look like this. But what I find most fascinating about this, and it's doing it right now, if the tree feels threatened and at nighttime, it retracts its leaves in. So you can see what it looks like right now. I've bumped it and moved it, and they've retracted their leaves in. I'm gonna get a couple shots about this in the morning time when the leaves open back up, and then again tomorrow evening. Hopefully no chicken jumps on it or anything that will make it retract. So I'm excited to see what I come up with for this little spot in our growing garden bed right here. And it's time to get to work. All right, so I had an unexpected find while I started this little Plant Something Sunday project. A compacted, gravel-filled area, which might explain some of the lack of turf. I always thought it was like a grub issue, which I've treated for preventatively in the past, and no grubs, just gravel, which delayed what I was doing in the beginning, but after I got down 3 inches or so, it was much easier to work with the existing sandy soil. Now that I know that there is more gravel here than I would have thought before, I'm gonna have to keep that in mind while I'm thinking about things like annuals. I think that gravel area can be sorted out and lifted and aerated, and it could be perfectly fine for a lot of perennials to establish and grow onto. And in fact, the way the gravel fills itself, it creates pathways naturally for the roots of these plants to follow and find. But when it's super compacted, it becomes a little bit harder. Also, some of it's just unnecessary. So obviously the volume of the potting soil for where these plants are already being transplanted into took up space, so I can haul away some of this gravel elsewhere. I am not thrilled with this discovery, but that is fine. I will have to look up what are some easy ways to maybe sift through and sort this out. So next time I go to plant and I jump on a shovel, it actually breaks through the ground and not makes me bounce back. Let's see, what else? Oh, so I found these. Again, I love my purple foliage, and this is almost like a black, but this is what I would describe as actually my favorite color of greenish purple, which is probably not really a color. It's more of like an iridescent sheen to it. It's like what glistens at the top of like gasoline. This variety of heuchera, which I'm going to have to look up, it was in a pot that I had for at least 2 growing seasons. It doesn't have its tag. Always keep your tags. I'll have to look this up on order history to see what kind of heuchera it is, but it's beautiful. It's almost black when the sun fades out, but when the sun's on it, it's like a dark hunter green, and then there's got this purple undercolor. Undercolor? It's bicolored, so it's past lily bloom season, but I did have these ornamental lilies, and I do have the tag for these, but I can't think of the name. I'm gonna post the name somewhere on the screen when I find out what they are. I think that with the Cold Hardy Mimosa Tree growing upwards right here and them being underplanted with these lilies and heuchera, it's going to be a beautiful thing to look forward to, especially next year, but I'm going to get some enjoyment out of it for the rest of the summer as well. I'm going to include this on my September update on all of the things that we've planted so far. I'd like to know, what do you guys do with plants that are on the cusp of your growing zone? Do you experiment with them in different ways to encourage their survivability throughout the dormant season? Let me know in the comments down below. This one will definitely be something that will be on an update video for leaf out season for next year. I am going to be eager to see how well this actually does over the winter. Yeah, maybe I'll have to take some cuttings and put some winter interest here, and we'll do, I'm already thinking about a winter garden tour, which will probably be very white and dry and cold. That's it for this Plant Something Sunday. I hope you've been botanically inspired. Remember to grow where you're planted, and I'll share more with you soon. Tschüss!